Ha-ha! Oh, my goodness. Ha-ha! Hello, my friends! It is Alphinius Goo, here at Gooey University inside the Gooey Cube with our friend Camera Mandy behind the camera. Say hello, Camera Mandy.
Hello.
Ha-ha! She says hello pretty much the same way every time. Can we do a little better, Camera Mandy? Just a little more,
Hello.
That pretty much sounded the same to me. Anyway, today we are talking about developing interesting non-player characters. Yes, I love non-player characters. I enjoy the creation of them, the establishment of them, the interaction of them, yes. This is why I build many of them into my games. Because, as in life, we encounter many people when we walk around and go places and talk to things and individuals and groups, yes! So, how do you do this? How do you build interesting non-player characters? Well, I'm going to tell you first and foremost. I like goofy names. They help me remember them, they help me keep track of them, they help me to understand them. Now, there are many places that you can use to make up names. There are even name generators on the internet if you want to go that direction. I tend to make up my own. Now, I do not make every name funny, I do not make every name goofy, but I do have names that are sometimes interesting, like Hoonding Shingledonger, right? Hoonding Shingledonger is a gnome who comes from Hardcastle. Yes, and he is a tinkerer. Yes. Now I can build a little bit of a backstory from him. Perhaps he is being blackmailed by some kind of nefarious group. Perhaps he is a front for some kind of a smuggling operation. Perhaps he is possessed by a demon. Yes. And he will eventually become the worst nemesis the party has ever seen. Yes, Ding Shingledonga. Now, you see how it works. We begin. What do you want, Cameramandy? Well, I tend to combine names, Cameramandy. That helps me in putting interesting things together. So, for a halfling, for example, Durgle Hairyfoots, Durgle Jingletoes, Durgle Dancylots. For the dwarven people, I tend to take more sounds like rocks and stone. Gondrag Dundu. For humans, it depends on where they hail from. I might have Irish-sounding names, I might have African-sounding names, I might have South or Central American-sounding names to bring those kinds of just sorts of culture into the game from the areas that they hail from. So if it is a Maroon, which in the world of Zyathé are sea-traveling people, yes? I'm going to tend to live in nautical terms, right? Wave runner, foam dancer, these kinds of things. They are interesting, they are intriguing, and they bring some memorability. Once I have come up with their names, I then come up with a little bit of a backstory about them, as you heard me do with Hooding Shingledonga. I tend to make a portrait for every one of my NPCs that tends to be important. Yes, I even make portraits for ones that are not so important. Ha-ha! Portraits like these, like Myron the Ugly Troll. Well, Governor, I'm Myron the Ugly Troll, and I'm glad you're down here at me bridge, and I hope I can help you, if you're nice to me, ladies. So drop a toll in me basket, and let us have a chat. With notes on the back. This is what I do, because portraits help me remember about the character. Help me keep in mind their name, their motivations, their backstories, who they are, what they do. That makes it easier for me as a game master to keep track of a lot of NPCs. As you're taking the notes, as you're putting these things into the backstories of each one of your NPCs, make sure you write them large enough that you can see them, so that when you're holding up the portrait to your friends around the table, you can easily see the notes and be able to talk to them. You can get portraits in many places. You do not need to necessarily purchase them all over the place. In our games, we provide them, many of them. The last point about developing interesting NPCs is to remember that every NPC can't be interesting. not just the key NPCs. We must also build a second layer. Those that might provide some information, or provide circumstances, or maybe provide nothing. But enough so that these are special. And if your players begin to suspect that every time you bring them a portraited character and they talk to them that those characters all have nefarious secrets, it will start getting less interesting. Marvelous! I am Alphinius Goo. You are in Gooey University, here at Gooey Cube, with Camera Mandy and me, Alphinius. May all your adventures be sticky.